Tonight's Indy 500 is going to be following this. If you're just watching, I got Johnny Benson in the booth with me, as always. How you going, Johnny?
Hey now, how you doing?
Going good. Getting ready for Indy 500 bump day, and wow, do we have a full field of drivers ready to get into the field. Some of these drivers have already made it into the field, like Rita St. James and Cold. But some drivers still have to get in, like Humana, Cali, Twindy, and some new drivers, official 467 from Jamaica. Whew, it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, there's a lot of people trying to make not very many spots here. A lot of these people tried to get in during the qualifying day Wednesday, couldn't make it for some other reason or another, but it's crunch time to get into the race right now.
As we get ready for the drivers to hit the track, may I state that next is the Indy 500. A lot of people were confused about that because when I said bump day earlier on our chats and stuff and on Facebook, people were going, wait, tonight's the race? Yeah, so we'll be following this right next to bump day. What do you think you're going to see in bump day qualifying? People going hard, hitting the wall? What do you think you're going to see?
I think there's going to see people that just don't have it. I mean, a lot of these guys, we're not there. We're not ready to race on Wednesday. We're not ready to qualify for the Indianapolis 500. And I think a lot of these guys are just going to be, frankly, off the pace. There's probably going to be a handful of guys that are up there within striking distance of getting in the field, and they're the only ones that are going to make it in. Twindy is still trying to make it in. He might be our past champion provisional. If the past champion provisional is not used, it's just going to be the highest qualifying person on time.
As we look at it right now, I'm trying to find people in here that are in the field. A lot of good drivers right now not locked in, like Super. Super's not locked in, and he's really good at Indianapolis and Indy cars. Yurdon's not locked in. Daz isn't locked in. So Racela isn't locked in. So all these drivers here, except for Cold, and I believe Rita St. James, double checking, are locked in. Yeah, so Rita and
Cold. Give a big shout out to former Indy 500 and IndyCar champion Kip's hauling ass, watching at home there in Illinois. How you doing, Kip? Big shout out to you. Watching at home, sitting on the couch, having a couple of pork chops. Should be a good race to watch here, and hopefully we'll keep you entertained, me and Warren Keith.
Yeah, and one driver not in this bump field qualifying, thought he would make it, isn't going to make it. Last year's Indy 500 champion, DWMC Freak, isn't in the field right now. He might join us, but the way it's looking right now, it might not happen. So, final preparations getting underway here in the lobby. I believe Carlin is going over the rules.
Yeah, basically it's going to be so nobody has any complaints about it. There's going to be no fuel depletion. There's going to be no tire degradation. And the time is set right on 12 o'clock, so the time will not elapse during the event. So everybody's on the even playing field. They're all going to have a 70-liter tank, and nobody should have issues. It looks right now there might be Wama, so Race a Lot, Twindy, a couple of those guys might be having issues seeing each other or seeing each other in the room. So that's why they might be jumping out and jumping back in here as we try to get the field set for Indianapolis 500 bump day.
Yeah, she's exactly right. People in here, if you can't see somebody, I mean, it's not that big of a deal in qualifying, but you're going to want to see them in the race, but always want to see somebody else on track for Indy 500 bump day. Carlin Hicks, as you see the microphone going right there, getting ready to let him loose, as we have 13 out of 18 drivers in the room, which should be down to 11 drivers trying to make the field. That's a lot of drivers.
Yeah, a lot of drivers for less than 5 spots.
Yeah, so some drivers will go home tonight. I'm getting a soft echo. I don't know what that's about. I think it might be... No, I'm not getting it now. Good. Alright, so we are looking down at the field. Everyone that is attempting to qualify is ready to go. On the what we're waiting on right now. now. Might be waiting on somebody to.
Yeah.
Super just left.
Looks like we might have last minute entry here. Anger management for the Benson Speed Equipment posse might be jumping in here and trying to get it fixed. We did some testing with him earlier today, and his car just kept snapping loose going into the corner. I don't know what his deal was, but he says he might have had it fixed, so he's going to come out and try to qualify for the Indy 500 tonight.
Yeah, get a lot of drivers disconnecting and reconnecting. Yeah, I'm getting a good echo here. I can almost hear myself perfectly.
I'm not hearing it on my end at all, so I'm not sure what that is there, Keith.
Okay, I'll have to double check it.
But it's looking like a beautiful day here. Obviously, it's going to be straight up 12 o'clock. Nice August day here with a bright, clear skies for these guys to try and get some qualifying laps in. Should be a... What do you think you're going to see here in the qualifying attempts?
Well, I think you're going to be seeing a lot of drivers pushing hard. You know, they're going to head into the corner. You know, you might see him hit the wall. So, God, that's annoying. That echo is almost like amazingly annoying. But yeah, they're going to be going hard. You know, some drivers might not make it, and that's going to be something they're going to have to get used to. That's the problem with these things. When you have so many people entering, people will have to go home and sit on the couch and watch the Indy 500. Of course, we don't want that to happen. We want everyone to be able to race, but the lobbies only allow so many drivers, so everyone's going to have to put their guts into the car. You know, whoever has the most balls and the smoothest lap time will be in the field, and whoever messes up will go home.
Yeah, there was very quick times here on Wednesday night for Indianapolis 500 pole qualifying. Ready.
Yep, up at 43% now. Wonder if that's Carlin that's echoing, to be honest. Double check real quick.
Probably isn't because he's in game chat, so I don't know. I'm not hearing the echo on my end, so it might just be coming through the microphone.
Okay.
As we go here, looks like it's, like I said, a bright day. We'll start working the camera here, getting it sorted out. It's like anger management here. He's going to be driving the number 28, I believe. Benson Speed Equipment car. He's a new sign on to the team, but I think he should be doing very good. And hopefully he makes it into the Indy 500 tonight, but we will see. There's a lot of people, like you said, trying to make it in here. Aram Origins is going to be another person trying to make it in as we have a car on the track. Let's take a look and see who that is. And it is going to be official. 467 from Jamaica, as we'll go on board with him as he goes for his first attempt at qualifying here for the Indy 500 in Bombay. He's got a cone stuck under the hood. There it goes.
Yeah, as he heads into turn number 2 here at Indianapolis. You know, official, he didn't make it for the first qualifying session, but now he's in here for bump day, getting ready to get his Indy 500 started. I think this is his first attempt at the Indy 500. Haven't seen him a lot as he enters high in turn 3. It's a little high for me, but he's trying to get the car settled out.
Looks like he pushed right up out of the groove there. I don't know if he's got his settings set correctly or whatnot, but do not think this is going to be a very fast time. Probably won't make it into the race. As he gets 2 laps here, he's taking a green flag.
Green flag out on official's lap as he heads into turn number 1. Let's see what he can do heading down the short chute. He's got a pretty good line through the corners. better than what we saw in his warm-up lap. So now he heads down the back straightaway here at Indy.
See what he can do going into 3. It looks like he's a little high. Gets loose just a little bit, but he did not hit the wall. Still, like you said, much higher than we'd like to see for a race lap here. And as he comes across for his first lap, we'll see what kind of time he's going to put in the books. Just one more attempt at it after this. It's a 42.164. Nowhere near what we saw for him to get 500 qualifying, so he's going to really have to pick it up here on the second lap.
We'll do remember that these are full tanks, so it might not be the same as she saw in Indy qualifying. The big thing I think you're going to see here is the no tire degradation. It might be a slower lap time, so this might get him near the field. But a 42.1, that's not going to get him in the field at all. As it comes off turn number 4.
Actually, from what I can see on board, it looks like he's got about 8.2 in the tank. So he's not following directions, and don't know if that time will be allowed.
That's a 41.8. See, fires it down. Yeah, 8.2 in the tank. That is that's going to be looked at very closely. I feel like Carlin should always have the broadcast on just for this problem here to see what's going on track, but he's probably watching it as it is. So unofficially, your provisional pole sitter right now, not pole sitter, but in the field at a 41.8 is official, as he's just staying on track. Hopefully he gets to the pits. He should just reset, but he's going to go all the way back around into the pits. Well, there he goes. So we're looking through the field. No one really jumping out on track yet. There's a car going. It is Daz.
It's going to be Daz. Daz 555 PS. As he makes his attempt here onto the speedway, pulls right out, hits a cone. It's looking like he's 8.2 too.
So 8.2 might be the, I guess, the no fuel depletion setting. That might be it. So down the back straightaway to start his warm-up lap. You know, we saw Daz in a couple other races as he's going high into 3-2. I think that might be trying to build up his momentum. But I was saying, Johnny Daz, he's been running races lately, and he's been looking pretty good.
Yeah, Daz has really picked lately. He's at first he was, you know, running around the back, but as people make their starts in the league and get a little better, they start to pick up the intensity here, and they started getting faster. And Daz is definitely one of those people that's picking up time every race he comes to.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, we've seen Daz so many times in the last week or so in races, so it's good for him to get seat time as he heads into turn 4. Really high on this lap, almost in every turn, as he starts to head down the front straightaway. Let's see what kind of lap time he could put up at his first lap. A 42.220 for Daz, as official's lap time is not up there anymore. I don't know if he... I'll double check that. I think he left.
What'd you say?
I don't see official's lap time up there anymore, so he might have left. Well, nonetheless,
might have pulled out. We'll see what happens.
Nonetheless, pretty high in most of these turns. Don't think he has the right settings. That's a better turn 4. So Daz coming down the front straightaway. See if he can better that lap time. 47.22. That's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely upgraded his time just a little bit there.
So Daz right now in the field, but provisionally in the field. don't think we have any championship provisionals, do we, tonight? I'll have to double check on that. So right now Daz sitting at a 40.722 as he goes back to pit lane. Next driver out should be, hopefully he goes by the list here, should be Juanma.
Okay, just checking in with Carl in there, got an update. He says, you know, is everybody's all on 8.2? He says that's fine for them all to be at 8.2 as they come out and qualify.
Okay. Is there any championship provisionals tonight? I'm going on a list of questions. Alright, I think he's checking back in with Carlin. Yeah, so we can see the chat. For all of you at home, we can see the chat. So if you're watching on YouTube and you have any questions for us about, do send us a question. We can't see it. So we're waiting for the next car to go out. There might be some technical difficulties right now. So we're on board with anger management now. Now, Juan. Aaron Origins. Yurdon as we're looking through the cars. Callie's sitting on pit lane. He might be the next to go. And he's got a full tank at 70.0 as he flips back to pit lane. We've been seeing 8.2 in the tanks for qualifying, but a 70.0 fuel tank is not going to cut it.
All right, just another clarification there. As you've probably seen here on the broadcast, guys, a couple of people sitting there at 8.2 in the pits, a couple people sitting there at 70 in the pits. We're going to disallow them first couple times that went out and ran because they were at 8.2. Carlin wasn't really paying real close attention to them in there. He's got a lot of things going on in the room, but looks like they're going to have them all come back to the pits, fill the tanks full up to 70 liters, and then go out. So those that time on the board for Daz is going to be disallowed, and we're going to let him go again here.
Alright, so there it is. Johnny Benson keeping us always informed. He's the one that can bounce in between the rooms, as I am the main commentator. We'll be doing this for the race. Yes, we will be doing this for the race. We'll be streaming it live here on the SCL network. I'll be looking at the chat for qualifying only, as we'll try to look for the chat for the Indy 500 some points in the race, but qualifying, you have any questions, just put it through. Looking on YouTube right now in the live chat as we're waiting for the next car to go out. Should be anger management. At least I'm hoping.
Saw Callie pull out of the pits. It looks like he pulled back in. Might just be getting a couple last minute. I heard somebody revving up.
Yeah.
And this is where we roll through and try and see who it is.
Someone down pit lane now. It's official. He's going back out to... Okay, so 8.2 still in the tank for official. Yep. Now it goes to 70. Yep.
There he goes. So this is going to be his official run.
Okay. I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Word game.
As he rolls now pit lane, pit limiter on in the Indy Series.
Rolling.
Yeah, you don't need a pit limiter in the SCL, but he does have it on for qualifying.
Yep, we don't. We're not really care about safety. So you can roll down there as fast as you want. You run over to pick guy at your own fault. As he gets out onto the track here, it looks like the extra
Ooh.
tank might be sloshing around a little bit on him.
Yeah, you're better off probably taking that excess road out onto the banking, but trying to get as much speed as he can early to build up the momentum.
Onto the middle of turn 1 and 2. During the race, you're going to have to exit all the way out here, right there, onto the backstretch. So if you go ahead and then take one of those moves like that during the race after you pit, you will be penalized.
So into turn 3 he goes. People are asking how you get locked in. Well, we had Indy 500 time trials Wednesday. You can go back on the playlist and look at that. But as official comes off turn 4, coming to get the green flag on his 2-lap run. See what kind of lap time he can put up now with a full tank. So he heads into turn 1 pretty high. But nice exit. See if he gets lower in turn 2, as he does.
Top 10 in times from Wednesdays were locked into the field. And then any provisional is going to be somebody that's in the top 10 in points is going to be able to take their provisional if they did not qualify in the top 10 on time from Wednesday. And then any other spots that are left, that's what these guys are qualifying now. The final 2, 3, 4 spots in the field for the Indy 500.
Yeah, he got a little loose off turn 4. Let's see what kind of lap time he can put up at the stripe. Jeez, hate my phone. He puts up no official time yet. I think we might be having that glitch yet again we had Wednesday. If you leave the room and come back, it kind of screws everything over.
He's looking pretty close to where he ran the last time he went out, when he ran a 42-second lap. I don't see this being any quicker than that. As he's going down to the 4th gear, he's going back into 5th gear. He hasn't hit his curves. A lot of these guys just, to me, seem like they're unprepared to run the Indy 500, honestly. You know, if he was really prepared to come out here, he would have already figured out what his settings had to be. He would have known that he could hit his curves. He would have been in 6th gear the whole time. There's a lot of different factors that make somebody prepared to run this race. It just looks to me like officials not prepared. He's the last minute jumping in kind of guy.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that goes for him as he winds down the back straightaway. No time on the chart for him. We'll double check with Carlin where he's at. But yeah, first car officially done, here at Indianapolis 500 Bump Day. So we still got some more drivers to get into the field. We have 10 locked in.
It looks like a 42.216 for official. Ran a 42.216. Carlin just reassured me that 3 of these guys are getting in on time. So the top 3 times are going to make it into the field tonight.
So there it is. Out of 8 drivers, we're taking 3 into the Indianapolis 500. So high pressure on these guys. As I kept asking a couple times, is there a provisional, a championship provisional?
There will be a championship provisional, and I believe Aram will be taking a provisional also. So that's going to fill 2 of the spots. It's going to be Twindy and Aram.
So Twindy and...
We have Daz running out right now in his Penske chassis. We'll see what he can do on the time.
Yeah, Twindy and Aram Origins. Or Anger Management, I'm sorry.
Gets in.
Yep.
Aram Origins gets in because he's in the top 10 in points. I believe he's 2nd or 3rd in points. And Twindy gets in. He's a past champion and past Indy 500 champion, so he's getting the champion's provisional, if nothing else.
So there you go. If they get one of the top 3 times, I believe you start going back to 4th and 5th for the next people in.
Well, if they get one of the top 3 times, yeah, then they'll be in the top 3, and it'll still be 3 more getting in. So they're going to make it in no matter what, whether they're on time or on a provisional. And if there's no provisionals, that'll open up that 15th spot for everybody else.
there you have it. Daz now coming down the back straightaway, and then number 12. Looking to get in his first Indy 500. Different car, I think, when we saw him the first time around. Might just jumped in a new chassis, to be honest. So coming through turn 4. See what kind of lap time he could put up, as this is his first timed lap. If he beats a 42. Okay, what's going on?
I believe he's jumped out and jumped back in again, so his time is not showing up either. We'll have to get official ruling from Carlin after he gets a second lap in. So right now, I think, did you write down the time for official? 42.217, I believe it was?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? 217? So
yeah.
That's what official time is now. He's the only one in the books as of now. We'll see what Daz puts down here as he comes off turn 4, coming down the straightaway into the canyon of fans. And going past the brick guard, we'll see what he can do. Oh, look at that.
A 0.00.000. Whoa, put him on the pole. See, shoots back to pit lane. We'll get that for you in just a second, ladies and gentlemen. The glitch is if they leave and come back in and they get back on track, we don't see the time up here. Well, that won't happen in the race, because if you leave the room, you don't get back in the race. So
40.869, a 40869. So you want to go and put that on your little tally there, Warren. He is currently getting into the race. Highest time in the bump day so far, 40.
Was it a 40.869?
48.69.
Alright, I got it. That's almost 2 seconds ahead of official. So
yeah, like I said, I just don't believe official was prepared.
Anything can happen. Someone could wreck out on two of their laps and be shoved all the way down. So we'll see. As I believe Callie is the next one to go out. If anything. Oh no, you're done. Okay. Before it was Callie going third, so we'll see what Yurdon could do. See, he comes in the pit lane.
They're making Yurdon go back and fill up his tank.
There it is.
There it is. Rita's on it. Rita's running the room right now. Carlin had to tend to his crew chief for a second, so Rita's running the room as it is, and she's very capable of keeping all the boys in line.
Yeah, Rita St. James starting on the front row for tonight's Indianapolis 500. The only female to ever win in the SCL.
Take a look at Yurdon's Pertax car here. Looks like a nice ride.
Very nice paint scheme.
Chevy. Pretty good.
Yeah, I love the paint schemes. Ooh, ooh.
Little bump in the track there.
As he gets down, he's still pretty high. We've seen that a lot. Drivers running high in 3 and 4 the first lap. As he starts to head down the canyon to the yard of bricks.
A lot of guys are just trying to gain momentum on that first warm-up lap as much as possible. He's still running pretty high through the corners there. I don't think that's going to be up there with Daz this time.
Yeah, no, I'm not thinking so either, but we'll see what he can do. He might be able to jump into the 41s and still make the show. So turn 2 through 4. Coming onto the front straightaway. Hitting 220 now. And under the line. Alright, this is starting to get a little... Whoa, that's trippy. Okay.
That's hurting my brain.
Oh, Lord. So, that might have been just a He might have just got discoed. Middle of his run.
Bad time to get discoed.
Man. Well.
Rough qualifying session. You want to go read off the top 10 qualifiers from Wednesday here while we wait and they get everything figured out there, Warren?
Yeah, no problem. Let me just get it up real quick. I got like 6 billion tabs open here, trying to give you every information you can. Starting on the pole for the Indy 500 is Cold in the number 3 Pennzoil Chevrolet for JME Motorsports. Starting second is Rita St. James, the number 2 Verizon Delara Chevy for JME Motorsports. As we have a car flying down pit lane, that's Callie. Starting third is Hossack in the number 28 DHL Delara Honda for Benson Speed Equipment. Your Daytona 500 champion.
Front row for the Daytona 500 champion, making it third spot. And we'll go on board now and see what Callie can do. We will fill in the rest of the starting lineup for you after we get some low on the action here. So go track side and see what the old Kroger Fuzzies mobile can do.
Ooh, he is loose. Yeah, Callie is really, and that's some contact. That's going to hurt his first lap because he's not up to speed now. So he's going to have one. He is so loose in that car. He's going to have to adjust his roll bars because that is one loose chassis there.
Yeah, Callie said he was having some issues during practice with it doing the same kind of thing. He is doing better than he did practice because he was just spinning right out in practice, but looks like he might have had a little bit more practice that he had to do and a little bit of final adjustment, like you say, on his roll bars or his controllers, but doesn't look very good about getting into the race right now. Looks like he's going to be on the outside looking in. Looks like this comes off of turn 4. We'll see what he can do at the line.
So, loose car for Callie. Not what you want to have. We were talking about how loose is at the 46.1. That's not going to help him as he gets down to the bottom of turn 1, lap 2. Better line. Yeah. He's still nowhere near the speed.
He got way low through 2, washed up into the wall. He entered way too low through turn 2 there.
And he's way off speed-wise. He's only hitting 220 at the end of the straightaway. And yeah, this is not going to be a good lap for Callie, as he is really loose all over the racetrack through turn 4.
He's putting a lot of wheel input in. It's not turning the tires very much. I'm going to say that's part of his controller setup.
Turn 4, let's see what he can do. 44.3, that's not going to get him in the show.
Picked up 2 seconds, but I don't think it's enough.
No. I believe it's only 1 run tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Or they all get 2 runs.
2 laps, I think just 1 run, so we can get the Indy 500 started here before midnight. So what's the second row for the Indy 500 look like, Warren?
Second row for the Indy 500 looks as Tiernizzle, the rookie, the 98 Napa Delara Honda for Benson Speed Equipment. He's won a couple races this year, the Grand Prix of Long Beach, Daytona Continental Champion, and the Daytona 500 pole sitter, so he knows how to get it done at some of the big races. 5th place is One Shoe, a very surprising One Shoe, and the number 21 Delara Chevy for Tao Racing. His best qualifying effort in the Indy 500. 6 is Baron von Stosch in the number 83 Delara Chevy for JME Motorsports, and he finished second at Long Beach this season. As you see, anger management now hitting the course.
Anger management had the same kind of issues I think that Callie had during the practice there. Just some of his settings on his controller or at the keyboard there, not up to snuff with everybody else's. He said he got the problem fixed. We'll see what he can do here in qualifying.
Anger management trying to make his first Indy 500, as is a lot of other drivers in this field.
He's looking a lot better than he did during practice, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, not as loose as he was in practice, as we mentioned just a second ago. Down the front straightaway. Start his first time lap into turn 1. Very nice line. Off turn 2. Yeah, I've been noticing that, Johnny. Through turn 1 and 2, they seem to drive a little differently than turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, they're completely different turns. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I mean, even for me in the Trans Am race last night, I could get through 1 and 2 easy. Turn 3 was wicked, and I'd usually get a little loose coming off 3 and tiptoe through 4, but going through 1 and 2, I didn't have any problems. But it looks like anger management's right up to speed here. He ran a 40.8, and his line's looking very good through the corners. He's pressed down his curves button, and it looks like he's getting all the speed he needs to get out of that Honda. He's looking probably the best we've seen so far in qualifying is anger management.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good, nice and smooth on the steering inputs, as this is the kind of speed we saw on Wednesday in the time trials, around 2:30 at the middle of the straightaway. As he comes to the line for a second lap, does he improve? Yes, he does, to a 40.327. So that would put him in the show, just barely on Wednesday, but that puts him into the show now.
He wasn't available for qualifying on Wednesday, as he's one of the Down Under residents for the SCL, so he had other things going in the middle of the night. So, but I think it's going to be a pretty good time. What do you think, Warren? I think that probably put him in the field.
Yeah, that's definitely going to put it in the show, if not anything else, because on Wednesday we saw lighter tanks and they're running just below the 40 thresh mark at 39s. So, yeah, that's going to put him in the show. So we can kind of say anger management. Not official. Not official. I don't want to be saying official and then him get bumped down the 4th. But it does look like anger management might get into the show with that lap time, as we're waiting for the next driver to hit the oval here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Trying to see who it might be. Trying to look for engines to fire up.
I'd say it's either going to be Juan or Aram. I'm just waiting to get the call to pull out onto the racetrack. Those are the only two that are in here that have not qualified so far.
So we're on board right now with Juanma. As Carlin left the party. Probably to take care of something.
That's a good United Fibers car right there for Aram. Good looking car, the number 26. Benson Speed Equipment car in collaboration with Honda and Andretti.
It's a nice camera angle, to be honest.
Yep, as you see, all these teams have a big tank of fuel waiting in the pits for a car to fill up with. It's not like a NASCAR where they have a big can to fill up with. They have the fuel coming out of that big vat that they have there, and it shoots right into the car with a big hose. A couple of the differences between the stock cars and the Indy cars. You want to go ahead and read off the third row of the starting order for the Indy 500 there. Warren.
Yep, 7th place will be Shane O'Kano, the rookie, and the number 11 Dallara Chevy for Tao Racing. He finished 3rd at Willow. 8th will be Rosta, the rookie also. A lot of rookies in the Indy 500 this season. He's an independent driver, and he finished 4th in Daytona 500 this season. 9th will be Carlin Hicks in the Verizon Dallara number 12 chassis with JME Motorsports. He's got 14 IndyCar wins, 2nd all-time, and he was the Indianapolis 500 champion twice, and a 4-time IndyCar Series runner-up.
So very strong field as we get into the Indy 500 tonight. What's your dark horse pick, and what's your favorite?
Man, I think my dark horse pick might be One Shoe. And I hate to say it's a dark horse because of the way he's been running this season. But like I said on Wednesday, did make the Daytona 500 on speed. Comes to Indy, shows he's got the speed to do it. You know, he's obviously probably the best option in the field. Rita St. James looking for her first one, so she's got a good chance. And Cold first in points. He's starting on the pole. You got to think he's probably your favorite to win it. What about you, Johnny? Who do you think's going to win the Indy 500?
Well, my favorite's probably either going to be Hosick or Tierney. They had very good race cars, well prepared by the Benson Speed Equipment guys. Very good runs in qualifying. They were right up there, I think, with the Chevys. So as far as them being Hondas and the top two being Chevys, I think they were probably neck and neck. Just little tiny variables making that time in qualifying, but it all comes down to who's smoothest and who can run the 500-mile race the best. So my personal picks are going to be, Tierney and Hosick. For an outside chance of a winner, possibly Anger Management. That had a very good time. I can't remember who we said had the most smoothest run. You remember who that was that we said had the most smoothest run?
Yeah, now I'm looking at it.
In qualifying. I think he might have been 6th or 7th.
I think it might have been Varen von Stosch, to be honest.
Could have been Varen.
Yeah.
One of those guys.
He was really smooth.
Yeah, very, very smooth. I think that's what it's going to come down to for the race. Person that handles the best, not necessarily the fastest car out there, because you're going to be in the draft, you're going to be sucking up, but the person that's got the best handling package is not going to step out of line and not going to scrub the wall. That's going to be the person that wins.
As we have
jump over and see what they're doing here.
Yeah, please, as we're having a pretty long lull in the action. Read off 10th place for you. 10th place is Staza in Blue Flag Racing. He's got 2 Camel GT wins this season in the California Grand Prix at Willow Springs, and 1 other win in the past. And that's your top 10 that made it into the field. As we're right now... Tell JP to turn the mic up a little. Okay. As we are waiting for the next car to jump out on track, that's where Johnny Benson's heading to right now. As Kip's hauling ass is watching. Hopefully he'll be back next season.
Alright, so sorry to jump in on you there, but what they're doing is Carlin's sending the people out that have already ran. Obviously, Daz and Anger Management got their times in the books. Aram and Twindy are locked in on their provisionals, and he's trying to get everybody that's kind of been jumping in, jumping out, the last couple of people that are trying to qualify for the event, get them in this room and let them run the 2 laps as we're winding down our bump day activities here. So right now, if everybody's slower than the guys that are in here that already laid down their times, it looks like it's going to be Daz, Anger, and Official right now, but there's still, I think, 3 or 4 other people that are trying to get runs in, so we'll see if they can make their way in. Obviously, if they can't make their way in the room and can't figure out how to do it, they're not going to be able to race tonight.
Yeah. That's
a big part of the SCL is following procedure and being able to join the rooms and qualify on time and everything else. If you can't do that, we can't really help you.
Alright, as I'm getting a message real quick as we're waiting for more drivers to hopefully jump in. I think that's what's happening.
We've announced the first 3 rows. I think you have 1 more person there.
Yeah, I already said Stas. I already said Stas. Yeah. I did it while you were gone.
Daza from Down Under, I think he's going to have a pretty good run tonight. He's getting quicker and quicker as he makes a transition under this game. He was very quick on our previous Gran Turismo software, so I think Staz is just going to get better and better as he goes along here. As with everybody, you know, the more races they get under their belts in this game or any other game, the better you're going to be. And a lot of these guys that are coming over from GT6, it's just going to take them a little bit of time. I did hear from the Immortal Gooch today. He's got the game in his system. He's just downloading all the updates and everything. Possibly make his first appearance Sunday here at Indianapolis for the National 300. That's going to be a great race. And the Cup race, let's talk about that for a second here, Warren. Under the lights here, I just talked to the owners of the track. They're going to let us turn the lights on. So under the lights for the Cup cars is going to be a really fun race to watch here at Indianapolis.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one Sunday. Hopefully have that live for you on SCL Racing Network, as I have work, so I will not be able to call any Winston Cup events, but IndyCar and Camel GT. But yeah, no, that's going to be great. You know, it's going to make the track a lot different. Hopefully a little bit quicker for y'all in the stock cars. It's definitely going to handle different. You might be able to run too wide now through the corners with this cooler track. That would be good to watch.
It's still pretty sketchy. I ran a couple of practice sessions as I'm more of a stock car guy myself. I've run a couple of practice sessions, but it looks like they're still pretty sketchy, a little edgy getting into the corner, so it'll be interesting to see if we can try and run too wide or if that's going to cause an issue. But definitely a flat-out fast track, like Carlin always says, 2 drag strips connected by 2 short track style straightaways.
Yeah, that's going to be a major focal point in tonight's race. Will be that, as now we have 2 Juanmas on the track.
Yep, there's the first Juanma. There's the second Juanma. Looks like he might have got cloned.
2 chances to get into the 500, huh?
Yeah, better your chances. Make a copy of yourself.
So we're waiting still for something to happen.
A lot of fans showed out here for bump day as they waving the flags, trying to get their favorite driver into the event here. A little bit of support. All these people are sitting here waiting for the Indy 500 kickoff, as it's the greatest spectacle in racing and definitely our biggest open wheel event of the year. Should be fun. Looks like we might have Sir Race-A-Lot in the field right now. He just joined the room. He's getting ready to roll out and make his bump day qualifying attempt as we're winding down bump day, getting prepared for the Indy 500 tonight.
Just putting some up here on the chat real quick. Someone was mentioning a push to pass button set. There will be no push to pass in the race, but only in qualifying. I just want to get that clear. You will have to wear it down those first 2 laps under caution before we let you loose.
We'll be sitting up here in the booth, keeping a hawk eye on it, making sure everybody wears it down. But obviously, when they're running in the pack, you're going to be able to tell if somebody hits it or not. So it's not really a big issue as we make them wear it down under the first couple of laps under pace. And as they get set up for the 3-wide start, that's the only place we do the big 3-wide start here. This is going to be a fun race to watch. It definitely the start going into turn 1. It might get a little crazy.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we had a nice little short track in this game. You'd do a 4-wide salute, but we don't have that, unfortunately. They might do it at Texas. I've heard the second time around do a 4-wide salute pass by, but we'll see about that. That's
all it would be. I wouldn't start cars 4-wide.
Oh, you would never start cars 4-wide, and I don't care who you are. Never start a race 4-wide. I'm still surprised the Indy 500 starts out 3-wide.
There's a couple people that make it 4-wide during the race, but we think very low of those kind of guys. Usually calling doofuses over the mic. Looks like we got Mr. Race a Lot back in here. He's jumping in, jumping out. Might be having some trouble connecting, but like I said, we can't wait around forever here. We got to get the race underway. These guys obviously are not prepared to race tonight. They probably shouldn't be trying to race tonight.
Yeah, Mr. Race a Lot now flies down pit lane in the Quiznos car. He's looking toasty as he heads onto the oval for his warm-up lap. As now he shoots back to pit lane.
I didn't even see him leave the pits myself, so.
He was on track.
Having connection issues, those are probably going to follow him into the race.
Yeah.
So.
You don't want that.
No, we definitely don't want that. So right now, as it's looking, we're going to have anger management sitting in that 11th spot, as he ran a very good qualifying time here for bump day. And then Daz and Official also making it into the room, so that should be good. I think Official might be a little bit off the pace. Could be an issue with lap traffic late in the race, but this is such a big track. It's hard to get him all in like that. I'm going to jump over to game chat for a second and see what Carlin wants. Fill the dead air.
Alrighty, yes, I am filling the dead air. If you're on YouTube and you want to ask a question, go ahead and ask the question away in the chat. You know, trying to fill in the dead air here as we're sitting on board with Juanma. I'll try to have the chat up during the Indy 500. We'll try to do like to do a NASCAR singular wireless fan vote. So we'll try to do that. You know, we're just waiting on the Indy 500 now, as bump day kind of looks like now it is starting to wind down. Not too much of a dramatic bump day as Wednesday was. WKK, when are you coming back? That is a good question. When am I coming back? Well,
all right, Warren. Okay. Looks like they're going to call it right now. They're having some issues with it. Looks like our accounts as we come in here. So Carlin wants us to go ahead and jump out of the room. He's going to run the final couple of people that are having trouble with our accounts trying to get into the room, and he will let us know who starts the Indy 500. So it's been a good bump day qualifying here, and we'll probably set up our Indianapolis 500 broadcast in about 10 minutes or so. So any final thoughts from you, Warren?
Yeah, to answer the quick question that before you jumped back in and interrupted me, someone asked when I'm coming back for racing. Pretty soon, probably next season, I'll be doing Camel GT full time again, going to hopefully defend my title. So that's when I'll be back. But last thoughts here is, you know, the race tonight will be very good. I'm looking forward to it. You know, you're going to be seeing a lot of side-by-side, a lot of aggressive passes late in the race. Early in the race, you might be seeing a lot of calm, collective racing as everyone's just trying to make it to that final part of the race. You know, pit stops are going to be a big part of it, strategy, if we don't get a lot of cautions, which hopefully we don't. Other than that, I think you're looking for your pretty stock Friday Indy 500.
Yep, should be a good race. We'll see you guys like 15 minutes as we get to the race up. And we'll see you right back here on the SCL Racing Network for tonight's greatest spectacle race in the Indy 500.
Alright, so we'll see you later. Probably about 20 or 30 minutes from now, we'll have the Indy 500 broadcast pre-race up for you, live from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'm Warren Keith for Johnny Benson, and we'll see you in just a little bit.